I'm Tom Vassell, and today I'm talking about how I fixed King of Tokyo. Now, I want to be really clear here. I'm not saying I fixed the game. I'm not saying I'm smarter than Richard Garfield. This is a series in which I'm going to show you how I box and or upgrade various games. So with King of Tokyo, there's multiple expansions. There's also a sequel game called King of New York, and you can actually use monsters from one game in the other, which can be a little bit confusing when people are trying to take stuff from one to another. So I wanted to put it all in one giant box for the Dice Tower Library. Now, that being said, in the Dice Tower Library, I have a King of Tokyo normal box, just a regular box with King of Tokyo inside. That way, this could be a bit overwhelming for people, all this stuff, but if you want to play with stuff or see things that you might not see elsewhere, then this is the set that people want to see. So let's take a look inside this box. Okay, first of all, you're going to notice this is a size box. Size box was the size box I wanted, and I happen to have a size box because the Scythe game came out with a big box that replaced the box. So I had an extra box laying around. And you often will have extra boxes. This is a good way to use games. And then I just printed off stuff on the sides here. Roy designed that for me, and we made this the King of Tokyo collection. So let's see what's inside. You'll see this is jammed full. I have a bag here that has all the small rule sets in them for the King of Tokyo Halloween, the power-ups. We have the regular rule book for King of Tokyo here. Then I got a larger one. I guess I only need one. Oh, this is King of Tokyo and King of New York together in here. Then we have the board for King of Tokyo, and then the board for King of New York, which is much bigger. Inside here, you can buy these card cases, so this card case works really well. I have 3 slots in here. The slots for the King of New York cards, the slots for King of Tokyo, and then here, some of the single monsters you can buy, they have cards along with one of the dice for those cards. So all that's in here, and this fits in here pretty easily. Then I have all the power-up cards for King of Tokyo here in bags. Now you'll notice this one here says King of Tokyo-ish. That's because not every monster that they've made for King of Tokyo has power-up cards. And some kind Dice Tower viewer made me some power-ups for both Cookie and for the Iron Rook. These are not legitimate. These are not legal cards. They aren't sold. We just printed and made them ourselves so that we could have those characters in the game. You'll also notice that I have some variety of tokens down here. I use these crayon cases. These are crayon cases that you can get usually at the beginning of each school year. I put a rubber band on them because it kind of holds them in place in case they snap open. Here I put in 2 sets of the King of Tokyo dice. Actually, I technically have 3 sets because here's another set, the orange one. It came on Halloween, and then those are the extra dice. So I have enough dice to pass around the table. This container has all the different tokens that you might need for various things. And then we have a set here. These are the tokens for King of New York, as well as some extra stuff for one of the monsters that's in this smaller bin. This I didn't put in a box anywhere. This is the die for one of the monsters that you can buy separately. And then I have way too many of these. Now, I actually like the little lightning bolts better, so I really need to upgrade these at some point. These are okay, but I have a ton of them, so they're in a container. The King of New York power-ups, I don't know anyone who ever plays with the power-ups for King of New York, but they're here by themselves. And then these are the buildings. This comes with King Kong. You can see there's the Tokyo Tower and the Empire State Building, which you can build in here. And then all the different monsters. So you can see in the front of the box here, I have the actual monsters themselves. I put the standees in a bag. It saves space in the box. Now, I have all the monsters from King of Tokyo, its Halloween expansion, and King of New York, and some promos. So realize that there are some promos that are hard to get. It doesn't matter. You don't need them. But here's who's in this box. We got Boogie Woogie, Gigazar, Rosie Pony. She's a promo, I know that. Crab Abomination. I think that's a promo. Cyber Kitty. Space Penguin. Kraken. Mantis, Kong, Panda Kai, that's another one that was a promo. Cookie, definitely a promo. Another Panda Kai. Did they look different? They did look different. That's why I put them both in there. You can play Panda Kai 1 or Panda Kai 2. Alienoid, Cthulhu, Mega Shark, Cybertooth. Cybertooth is a separate one you can buy. He's the one that comes with the special die. Draconis, Rob, Orange Death, Sheriff, Anubis, another promo, the X Smash Tree, Alienoid, King Kong, who comes as a separate monster pack that you can buy, Iron Rook, this is the Dice Tower promo. This is still one of my favorite promos ever for any game. Captain Fish, the King. You can definitely have the King versus King Kong, which I find amusing. Cyber Bunny. You can have Cyber Bunny go up against Cyber Kitty. Mega Dragon. And Pumpkin Jack. Now that's ridiculous. You don't need that many monsters. What is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, King of Tokyo only plays to 6, so 10's enough. But wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 20 now. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have exactly 30 monsters. And I don't even have all the monsters. King of Tokyo's all over the world have like a monster specific to different regions. I think there's like a Brazilian monster and a Russian monster and all this stuff. And so, you know, I don't even have all those. You don't need all them. But if you want to play with all this stuff, this, to me, gives a ton of things to play with. So this is how I have my King of Tokyo and King of New York set up. King of Tokyo is not necessarily a game that people need everything for. It's just a silly party game. And I am cognizant of that fact, and that's why we have a regular King of Tokyo on the Dice Tower library shelves too. But if you want to play with the extra monsters, or you just want to play with something different, I thought this would be a fun thing. This is something I put together almost for me. I have the unique monsters. They sold monsters by themselves. I believe it was Cthulhu, King Kong, and the one that turns from has 2 different forms. I like those. They're fun to have. They add some special rules, although you can play with those rules with any of the monsters, which is also fun. And King of New York is kind of the sticking point here. I like King of New York, but almost no one ever plays it. We don't even have King of New York in a separate box. If you want to play King of New York, you got to pull this one out. But it is a nice change of pace, and anyone who pulls this box out might get it. Also, I like having the King of New York monsters, since you can use them in King of Tokyo and vice versa. It's important that they're in the same box, because I hate taking 2 boxes and have to use them. So anyway, this is my solution for King of Tokyo and how I store it. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell, and you've been watching Game Fixins on the Dice Tower.